Being an educator, being a teacher, I think is both the most rewarding and the most difficult role in the world as it stands at the moment. So much depends on our ability to craft and prepare kids for an unknown future, for their future, for them to be in control and solve the problems that will be present in their future. And we are under constant pressure to improve our practice, to be able to cope with large numbers of students in our classrooms, to cope with a hugely diverse range of abilities, of approaches to learning, of issues, of cultures, of personality, and to come out of that at the other end and still be in a fairly good well-being state. It's a tough job. We've been trying to improve professional practice of teaching for quite some time. I've been involved in professional learning for over 25 years. I'm Andrew Mowat. I'm one of the co-founders of EduSpark. In many ways, you could call me the Chief Learning Officer, if you like. I'm the person involved, interested in curating and building the learning and engagement part of this platform with an absolutely fabulous bunch of people. But before we look at what EduSpark is and what it offers, I'd like you to take some time to think about the problems that we face, specifically with professional learning, professional practice acquisition, getting better at the game of teaching and learning. Because there are problems. I did a study for the Department of Education way back in 1995 as an mid-career, early career professional development trainer, if you like, in the area of technology. And what I found then was that the amount of transfer for the learning and the time and the effort and the cost of delivering training, the amount of transfer was very, very little. Our efficiency, if you want to think about it in terms of learning efficiency, how much effort, time, cost goes into the professional learning opportunity and how much transfer do we get out at the other end? How much visible change, visible development do we see once someone has gone through a course? And when we provide a course, we offer the promise of transformation. And we often talk about transformation in education. That's the change, but we need to see the change in the classroom. That's transfer. And so I've become intensely interested in this game of transfer. And we have loads of problems that stop us, way more than I can talk about here. There are real reasons why transfer is very low and still low to this day, in spite of us knowing these issues. The first is time. Time has many things to do with it. The time that we take to deliver a program is a 30-minute webinar. I used to deliver day-long programs. That time frame is massively problematic. When we were delivering half-day and full-day programs and expecting people to acquire, hold and transfer the huge amount of information that would be presented in a one-day program, and then return to work, go back to the crazy land that schools are, and expect some of that to appear in the work of that day, it's hard. And there's also the issue of training. And I don't like the word training. Training is a very corporate feel methodology. It's all about, I'm an expert, you listen to what I've got to say and copy what I do. Not always, but largely. It does come from the expert, I know stuff you don't type situation. And it's all about me transmitting stuff and you consuming that content. And that consumption of content is not sufficient. So training, I think, is an insufficient label for teacher learning. It's good for things that are low level, for the what and the how of the world. But as soon as we have context and we have to apply that learning into complex situations, that's more about development, isn't it? So I like to use the word development over training. Training is a mindset. This is a development game that we should be in. We should be giving the right amount of time, providing time, or giving time for access to the development opportunities in a way that leads to transfer. And so to EduSpark. EduSpark was born out of two key things. I mean, many things we want to achieve, but the two things we want to do specifically in EduSpark is, first of all, to improve the way we do professional learning in education, to get better transfer from the time and effort we put into our professional learning. We want to change the way that people see professional learning from just being an expert-led transmission consumption model into more complex variations of ways that we might engage with others and ourselves in different stages, different modes, different learning styles and assets to give us richer and deeper learning. So that was the first big goal. The second big goal is to start to build more inclusion, diversity, equity, and even justice into access to the whole game of professional learning. Now that access might be lifting undiscovered or underrepresented voices of expertise that can bring value to the world. The world is dominated by particular cultures in the delivery of professional learning, and over time we want to become much more diverse in the curated list of creators that we use to present the learning content on EduSpark. We also want to make sure that access to the learning opportunity as a learner is improved. And again, we've had a traditional sense where quality professional learning is an expectation in the world of education in the West. It's something that's missing largely in other parts of the world. And we're very keen to make sure that we improve access to learning opportunities from a diverse range of people from all across the world in different genders, cultures, different races, different dispositions. We want this to be a richly diverse group of creators and learners engaging in a space that promotes the improvement of teaching and learning, that transfer that I was talking about. So here behind me, you can see a range of some of our courses. We are providing courses, as you can see in the categories, in a wide range and growing list of categories, some of which are contemporary, some of which have been there for a long time. So leadership, for instance, has always been a part of professional learning in education, but others that are beginning to appear in that list. And as we curate and continue to bring programs like this, we now have 51 courses available across the platform, growing each week. And as that becomes more diverse in its offering, you can personalize your learning as an individual, or indeed you can personalize the strategic approach of development for your school. Quite often schools have got strategic learning goals for a period of time, often a year, sometimes longer than that. And this allows us to shape the delivery of specific programs from high quality creators from across the world to fit the professional learning needs of your school, or, as I said, for you as an individual. It's much more than just providing a bunch of courses, as good as they are and as diverse as they are. We need to look at the learning design in this world of electronic and remote engagement. And we've designed EduSpark so that most of the engagement happens in one window, the course player window, which is behind me here. And here you see one of our programs from the fabulous Gillian Judson, who talks all about imagination in the role of leadership and learning. And this course is made up of a series of videos, some pages called e-pages, which bring together rich opportunities of video and ed tech, as well as text, and even PDF. Shortly, we'll be launching with live video. And all of those different learning types provide a diverse engagement in the course itself, and they provide the opportunity for self-paced learning, small group learning, whole school learning, asynchronous learning, synchronous learning, anything from structured synchronous, which is more like a workshop, to unstructured coaching, ask me anything, office hours type engagements. So this learning player window provides access to not only the course materials and opportunities for engagement, but you can see up there the learners. We can connect with the learners in this course. We can discuss, we can access resources, and we can see and watch for announcements that are coming up. All the action happens in this specifically designed player window, which seeks to make sure that we remain in one place rather than having to go off to one platform here and one platform there and shift people off all over the place. We want people to experience their learning in a consistent environment. So where to from here? You can register for free, no cost involved, as an individual user on EduSpark. It's a simple process. And as a free user, you get access to somewhere around about 20 courses already. So substantially good free offerings. Then, of course, you can move into Pro. Now, you can do so at a whole school level, and we have institutional controls that allow you to pick a playlist of courses for your staff. You can also register at a Pro level as an individual and pay an annual amount. And this Pro level gives you access to all of the courses across the platform as we currently stand. The third thing you might like to do is to consider becoming a creator. If you have an area of expertise in your domain of practice, if you want to add your value to the world, even if you've not done this before, what we do is we work with people who are running fully professional consultancies where they have all of their income coming from the work that they do with schools and individuals, all the way through to people who are practicing teachers who have discovered something of value, who want to use a course to bring that to the world. And we work with a whole range in between. That's something that we are very interested in continuing to develop and curate. And if you're interested in a conversation to explore what it takes to become a curator, then I'm more than happy to have a conversation with you, and my email is there. So those three things, check out our link, eduspark.world, to register and have a look at some of the free content. Drop your details into the form that's here, bit.ly/EduSpark Pro Trial, as you see there. Add your name there and you'll be able to get access to a month of Pro for free. And contact me by email if you're interested in a conversation about how you can bring your value through the agency of course development on a platform like EduSpark. I hope that helps. Hope to see you on our platform soon.